This video is going to be all about the idea of understanding more about forgiveness and what are some things that we can do to really just let go and forgive people that we think have done something to us in our life. So I'm also going to include in this video a little meditation exercise where we can kind of hone in on some of the realizations and then allow ourselves to let it go. So first off, let's understand a little bit more about what forgiveness is and what kind of perspective we must have towards understanding how we can really just let the idea go. Well, forgiveness comes from understanding that if we feel like we need to forgive anybody, it comes from thinking that something happened to us in the first place. So really what forgiveness is about is taking back our power, because anytime that we have the perspective that says that somebody did something to us, it automatically entails a victimhood type mentality. Because if we believe someone did something to us, you then have what could fundamentally be called like a perpetrator, and then you have somebody that experienced the victim of the circumstance. Now, the idea with this is understanding that once we identify why we feel that way about somebody, the circumstance that allowed it to happen, what we can then learn how to do is to neutralize the meaning of what that is. Now, anytime that we feel a certain way about somebody, it comes from what is called neuroassociation. So the idea behind this is anytime we see somebody else, a lot of times there's that classic saying that you might not remember what somebody did to you, but you will always remember how somebody made you feel. Well, that's the idea. The idea is that we have an idea of somebody that we have a relationship with. How that person makes us feel is the neuroassociation, is the connection that we associate them with, is the feeling that we associate them with. And if for at any reason we have some type of negative association, it has to do with the way that we're defining the situation, but also the circumstances that we were in, our perspective of it. So let's get to the core of this so that we're really able to understand how we can let it go and how we can neutralize whatever that is. So anytime we have a situation or a feeling that we've had with somebody else that we don't necessarily prefer, the idea is that we need to hone in on the one circumstance that allowed us to start that momentum or to start that feeling. So right now what I'd like to do with you is become more present to the moment with me. We're going to do a little short exercise right now, and what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to, one, be present to the moment, but two, I'm going to guide you to and through certain realizations to really just allow us to let this idea go. So right now, become present with me, and what I want you to do is to just simply take in a deep breath with me right now. So right now, let's take in a deep breath in through our nose, and as we do that, feel the sensation of your abdomen or your diaphragm expanding as you breathe in. So let's do that right now. So now what I'd like you to do is to simply put the sensation inside of your hands. What this does is this allows us to take the energy out of majority of the head and bring it into the body, which brings us into more of a present state. So feel the energy inside your hands. Now feel the energy inside of your heart, inside your body. Maybe your left hand, your left arm, your right hand, your right arm. Now feel the energy inside of your stomach. Now feel the sensation in your left leg and your left foot. And now feel the sensation in your right leg and in your right foot. The reason we're doing this is because as we begin to feel into our body, it allows us to go from a beta state to an alpha state as far as the brainwave activity is concerned. And because of that, it brings us into a more present, relaxed state so that whatever exercise we're going to do right now really deepens the experience that we have. So now what I'd like you to do is to imagine one person in particular in your life that your intention is to heal the relationship with or to forgive that kind of person. So think of that situation right now. Think about maybe how that made you feel. And now what you can do is you can allow yourself to understand this concept The idea is that person that may have done something to us, that may have said something to us that made us not feel good, the idea is that that person made that decision based upon the level of consciousness or awareness that they were in. What this means is that they've rationalized that decision based upon their perspective, meaning that from their point of view, they didn't necessarily think they were doing anything bad. Now, this may have come from their life experience, maybe from their parents, from their peers growing up. It may have came from some limiting belief, like maybe if they stole from you, it came from the fact that they didn't believe in their own worthiness, so maybe they projected that in the action that they did to you. But the idea is that you can understand that the situation in itself is neutral, that they've rationalized it from their point of view, and because of that, we're able to neutralize the meaning of it. Doesn't mean that we condone it or we think it's okay. It simply means that we accept it, that we allow it to be what it is. So I want you right now to imagine that circumstance and to understand that what you're doing right now is you are neutralizing the meaning. You are neutralizing by understanding that they've rationalized it from their point of view, and you can at least accept them for what they've done. You can accept the circumstance for what it is. Now, as we begin to neutralize the meaning, what we then can do is we can choose from a higher perspective, from a higher level of consciousness. We can look at them as somebody that's going through their own life experience. Now, this doesn't need to be a judgment. All this simply is understanding that they're on their own journey, that they may have made some decisions that seem to be towards us, but the idea is that they may have taken that out of their own level of consciousness that they're in. So now that we understand that, what we can really do is begin to move forward in understanding that we are not a victim, that this is about us taking back our own power by understanding that we don't need to hold on to that energy any longer. We can simply let it go. And the more that we understand that, the more that we allow ourselves to let it go is going to be the degree to which we actually begin to feel better. Because what we're letting go of is not really us anyways. The core of who we are has a perspective where we accept people for who they are and the decisions that they make. We may not condone them, we may not agree with them, but we accept them. Letting go of the perspectives that aren't the core of who we are is going to be the degree to which we feel better, to which we're able to elevate our own emotion because we don't have anything weighing us down. So the idea is that we can learn and that we can understand other people by knowing that they make decisions based upon their own level of consciousness. That from that point of view, what we can then do is neutralize the meaning of what they have done. We can understand and take back our own power now that we have that understanding, and we can choose to see ourselves in a holistic way, in a whole way where there's nothing that is wrong with our way of thinking, but we choose to see people in a higher light. The other part of this is understanding that we must forgive ourselves. This is important because sometimes something might happen to us and we might assume that we should have felt guilty for letting it happen. Like maybe we should have known better. But the idea is that we need to be grateful for those type of experiences because we learn something from them. We learn how to forgive. We learn how to let people be, how to exist in a higher frame of consciousness from a higher level of awareness. And because of that, what we really allow ourselves to do is to learn from the experience. But we must forgive ourselves. Even if we may have reacted in the past, let it be. Accept it for what it was. Understand that now that we're more conscious, more aware of the thoughts that we're having, of the way that we think about other people, we can then exist in a more equal frame of mind where we view people as powerful creators of their own life, understanding that they make their own decisions based upon their level of consciousness and that we can accept them from who they are. We can accept the situation for what it is and know that the more that we do that, the more we're truly able to forgive. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Feel free to like and subscribe below. And other than that, have a beautiful day. Much love.